This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and LifeLock has tips to protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report phishing, and update the software on your devices. And for comprehensive identity protection, let LifeLock alert you to suspicious uses of your personal information. LifeLock also fixes identity theft, guaranteed or your money back. Stay smart, safe, and protected with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Psst, healthcare pros, word's out, and it's too good to keep quiet. Look, LinkedIn is revolutionizing job hunting, making it possible to search by specialty, shift preference, and salary. Endless scrolling is out. Whether it's a mental health therapist or dental hygienist, finding the perfect role is faster and easier than ever. Head to linkedin.com/healthcare and start your search today.
Welcome to episode 73 of the High Volume Hiring Podcast. I am one of your two co-hosts. I'm Stephen Rothberg with College Recruiter, where we believe that every student, recent grad, deserves a great career, and that it should be easy and inexpensive for employers to hire them. Jeanette, my co-host, welcome again.
Welcome. Thanks to Kenny for being here today. I'm Jeanette Leeds, and we are here with the CEO of Advantage.ai, Kenny Wright, to talk about programmatic and high volume hiring. So happy and thankful to have you on today. So welcome, Kenny.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Good stuff. Well, thought we'd kick it off with the first question around what's to give our listeners the context on Advantage AI and sort of how you got to where you are. And just, we feel like that would just be a good level set for our audience today. So that's first question. Tell us your journey.
So after college, I went to work for a publishing company out of Birmingham. It was kind of the infancy stages of digital marketing. And then when the iPhone came out, I launched the first iPhone app for truck drivers to find jobs. So that was my first little dive into TA. So everybody thought I was crazy, that truck drivers don't use smartphones. They'll never apply through a mobile phone. And trust me, it was a very hard sell. But so the way that all of this evolved is I developed that product, and then clients wanted more. And then so we started developing a few other things, which basically evolved to HireMaster, which is basically a dashboard with all of our efforts. And I'm one of those OCD, ADD guys, and I get super obsessed over things. And I said, there's got to be a better way. How can we research this and find out if this is the perfect use case? And that's what we did. It started with a partnership with Auburn University, hiring some of the students, bringing it in, showing the use case. Look, this is what we're trying to accomplish. There's all of these different ways to get integrated with all these different job boards and different mediums from Google and Facebook and all that kind of good stuff. Is it CPC? Is it CPA? Is it, there's just a lot of moving pieces. And so when we laid it all out, it just looked like the perfect scenario to build a platform from the ground up, just leveraging AI. So it was just a steady evolving process over clients wanting more and more and more.
So Advantage AI, it sounds to me like its roots were in helping HireMaster become like a better digital recruitment advertising product. So you were kind of like building it for yourself and then realized, hey, our clients might want this too.
Absolutely. It was one of those things, it's kind of the aha moment. It was like, okay, we're doing all this stuff internally. Why don't we just release this and let everybody share in this? And so that's what we did. And, and it's been a long journey, and it's you can have wonderful ideas on what to build, but if you don't have the right team to build it and a good plan to execute, it's not going to happen. So it's like, all right, we got this idea, we got this use case, this problem that we're solving for. Is it going to work? Let's try it and invest the money and hire the team and put it all together. And it's going very well.
That is not easy, right? To have that idea and to get it out there. I love that the inception of your beginning was truck drivers with the iPhone and applying, because that sort of sets that level set foundation, right? Of like where your mind just goes. Thinking about that, and my view is, and for those who saw my post on LinkedIn for this, is that like programmatic and high volume hiring, anything at scale, like it's like a match made in heaven. It is BFFs, like it just works. Like share with us whether it's from, internal before you launch to the world, or like just like, hey, this is the kind of stuff and the outcomes that you can get. Because I'm sure, even though it's what year are we, 2024, there are some listeners who aren't using this sort of technology, and it's awesome.
Yeah, so we built this product kind of to be the support for our internal stuff. And when we started working with Auburn University, hired some students from Auburn and started building this platform, we were looking at all the different machine learning techniques and what we need to do to, how are we integrated with all the different partners. And so we had no idea if it was going to work. We felt like it was the perfect use case for AI, but we had no idea if it was going to work or not. But we just started seeing it with volumes, with lower CPAs, with quality. It's just all of it was firing on all cylinders, and it just gets better. And that's the beauty of AI, because every single decision that's made in the platform is purely based on performance data. It's not a gut feeling. It's not it looks good in this spreadsheet. It is it getting closer to our goal, or is it not? If it is, let's evolve this solution to a better solution. If it's not, let's scratch it, And so it constantly evolves and learns from the patterns in the data, and it just gets better. So proof's in the pudding. It worked for us, and it was like, all right, let's let this out into the wild. And then we started adding more people in our team, that like Sean Quigley, he was at Symphony Talent Recruitings. He's our vice president of product and design, and guy's fantastic. He's took what we built, and then we've added more to the team and just took it to the next level. So
yeah, I had the good fortune to meet Sean in person years ago. It was at the ad agency that was later became Symphony Talent. And yeah, when I saw that you guys had hired him, it was like, okay, that was wicked smart. For the listeners, Advantage AI, absolutely. You need truck drivers? Great. You need warehouse, you need retail, you need hospitality, customer service, nurses, whatever. It's not a truck driver only platform, correct?
Welcome to the Hire Her podcast, where women in talent call all the shots. We know, another recruiting podcast, just what the industry needs. Okay, but hear us out. You ever spend hours sourcing that perfect candidate, but they end up ghosting you harder than your Hinge date? Or finally, you get that hiring manager feedback, only for them to, of course, say, can we see more candidates? Lame, right? But let's talk about what's really lame in the industry. How is it that 65% of recruiters are brilliant women, yet most of the decision makers look like a convention for middle-aged dudes named Brad?
That's where we come in. Hire Her isn't just another podcast about hiring trends you already heard like 50 times this week. We're here to elevate women in talent, share their career journeys, and make sure they take the lead. Because let's face it, if recruiting is the backbone of every company, why are we still fighting for a seat at the table? So whether you're a recruiter, a talent leader, or just someone trying to swim through the sausage fest of TA leadership, we got you, girl. Welcome to Hire Her, the recruiting podcast where women's voices aren't just heard, but they're leading the conversation.
So subscribe now, because middle management Brad sure as hell isn't going to do it for you.
Key point in this is when we did this, we were like, let's build this in an agnostic way to where it doesn't matter what the position is.
Yeah.
Because the ML models that we're using, it doesn't care what job it is. It's figuring out what's working and what's not working. So it works for all industries.
Your client, say enterprise level company, hiring at least dozens, probably hundreds, thousands. They come to you and they say, we've got, 1,000 recs. These are the 100, the 50 that are like actually have volume. Call center, warehouse, logistics, whatever it is. Walk us through how you would explain to them what is programmatic, because none of us are born knowing that. How does Advantage AI use that? Because it's not just on one site. I know you're partnering with a lot, including College Recruiter. In full disclosure, as federal law may or may not require.
There's a partnership there.
Yeah. So, programmatic is just simply the automation of things. And when we went to TA Tech out of Austin, we realized that a lot of people were still using rules-based platforms. And there's nothing wrong with rules-based platforms. We just felt like there was a better way to do it. And that's where the machine learning came into play. And because when you're looking at, building a platform like this, you've got to have your partners. You've got to have all the proper integrations. You have some integrations that you're doing on CPA, some of them are CPC. And when you're looking at managing all of these CPCs and CPAs for all of these different jobs and these different locations and these different industries, we're talking about fine tuning and finding patterns in the data for every location, for every job. I mean, that's for every source. There's you can't hire enough people to do that in such small detail. And so that's what we were able to do with this platform. So, I mean, to explain it, the whole goal of this platform is for you just to feed the jobs or even create the jobs on the platform, give it a budget and let it work. And so, because everything is weighted, every click, every interaction is weighted, and it's all put into the machine learning models to figure out exactly what's working. So it's really easy to use, and it's using data at its best.
For a client who's coming and bringing these on, if they haven't used something like this before, how much better is it? How much, are they saving? What, any good stats to share there?
I mean, we've got some companies that have lowered their CPA by 35 to 60%. We have some clients that they're like, look, hey, we want volume. Then we have some that we optimize to the CPQA. So it's all about quality. And they're like, look, we don't want as much volume. We just want to focus on what's actually down funnel and that's going to bring the hires in the door. So we have different ways of optimizing, with the platform. But yeah, once you get in the platform and see how easy it is to use, it's I mean, of course I'm biased, but I don't see you using something else. But as far as the advantage of why do you want to do this? It's you go to all these different partners and no one publisher, one job board is going to have all the candidates. I mean, even the largest one on the planet right now probably has 40 to 57% maybe.
Indeed, it does.
Great job. But there's a lot of candidates that's outside of that bubble that's not being utilized. And that's what's so great about all the partners that we have is because we're able to go through and say, oh, here's a campaign of these jobs. These are the best performing job boards and sources for these jobs. Let's start allocating through CPC, CPA, budgets, slots, however the integrations are, and then let the models work. It's because it's going to learn from all the other thousands of campaigns that we're running. So day one, you've got the advantage of an efficient placement of jobs. But once you starts running, then it just gets better off of what your performance is doing.
And that, as you said, is the advantage, and clearly Advantage. I mean, I'm loving the branding and the name. It's so good. So if the listeners didn't pick up on that, I just had to it was very cool.
We are definitely connecting the dots here. I think we have time for one more quick question and answer. I just kind of close the loop for the listeners who might never have used Programmatic, who might be using it but not really feeling like it's working as well as they think it should. Maybe they don't even know how they can measure it. And it kind of goes back to Jeanette's question a couple minutes earlier. When I think of Programmatic, and at College Recruiter, we've been using it heavily for a decade. I think of it for some of employers, it's about efficiency. They can save money on postings. And like you mentioned, the quality aspect. Other employers, it's about quantity. We need to hire 1,000 people. You're never going to get enough applicants from one job posting to hire 1,000 people. Do you look at it the same way? Both something different? The biggest advantage of a Programmatic for a high volume employer? Efficiency, effectiveness, something else?
I mean, it's just a combination of all of those. And then it really just boils down to how is your recruiting department laid out? It's really about the candidate journey. It's how many can they handle? Do they have 20 recruiters? Do they have 4? And then how are we going to do this? Is it going to be a hybrid model to where we want to get plenty of volume, but we also want to focus on quality? Or is it, we need apps through the door. So let's get it out there. And so you've got that flexibility within the platform to optimize. So, do you want that $7 CPA or do you want that $24 CPA of that candidate that has everything that you need as far as quality? And those numbers can get crazy, being really low to really high, but because every company is different. But it's kind of a hybrid approach. It really just depends on the client and what they're really, really looking for.
Cool.
This is awesome. Kenny, thanks for joining us today. This is really helpful.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate that.
Cheers, Jeanette. Until the next one.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.